If you recall, in Module 3, we talked about functions. We talked about functions to which we pass parameters, and we talked about functions that just do some printing. Today, we're going to talk about a different type of function. We're going to talk about a function that returns a value, a function that does something inside the body of the function and then returns a value of either a calculation or an input out to the calling function or to main. Now, let's just write a simple main, def main. And in this program, we have some variable called number, and we say number is equal to 0. And we now want to input number from the user. So one of the ways we can do this is number is equal to int input. Please enter a positive number. And that will bring us input from the user, which is just fine. The input will come in, it'll be stored in the variable number, and life is good, right? So now I can go ahead and I can say print number. And at the bottom, I can just go and call main. Right? Now, what if I wanted to input 10 different numbers at 10 different times? I wanted to write a reusable function whose only job is to input a number and return it out, enter a positive number. So, well, then I can write another function here, and I can say def get input. And get input doesn't take any parameters. And get input has a local parameter. We'll call it num is equal to, and what we're going to do is just take this line, cut it out of here, and put it here. Please enter a positive number. And then the next thing is the important thing in a value returning function is the return statement. Return num. Return tells the function to return to the calling program a value that's written after the return statement. Now, in most programming languages, you can return only one value out of the function. We'll see later when we get to tuples how in Python you can actually return more than one value. Right, now, this function is returning a value. It's throwing out the value num out of the function. We have to catch it somewhere. It has to be either caught in a print or it has to be caught in an assignment. So here, instead of saying number is equal to int input, we just say get input. We make a call to function get input. Number is equal to get input. The way this will work is function get input will be called. The statements in function get input will be processed, and the return statement will execute, and num will be returned, and whatever the value was in num will be sent into the variable number. Let's just print out here num in function. Num. And then we are just going to print a blank line, and then we say return num. And here we say print number. So let's go ahead and run the module. And let me just save this file before I run the module. And now that I've saved the file, I'm going to go ahead and run it. And I'm told, please enter a positive number. So I write 23. And it says num in function 23. And this value is now transferred to number, which also contains 23. And that is a return statement. It returns a value out of the function. Let's look at another example of the return statement. And this is from your major learning resource, your book. This is the sales price program. Discount percentage, which is a constant, a global constant. How do we know it's global? Because it's defined above main, outside of all functions. So we know it's a global constant. We set that to 0.20. And in main, we call a function get regular price. What does get regular price do? It says price is equal to float input, enter the item's regular price, return price. So whatever the value is in price is passed out of the function, is returned from the function, and that value is put into the variable regular price. Then we say sale price is equal to regular price minus discount. For discount, we pass in the regular price as a parameter to discount. And here is the function discount. Function discount takes in the price, and it says return price multiplied by discount percentage. Now remember, price is a formal parameter. It is a name that's used to carry in the value of regular price into the function. And we say return price multiplied by discount percentage. And that is returned. The result of that calculation is returned, and that result is put into sale price. And then we say print the sale price of format. This is something new that you've seen. This is to format it to 2 places after the decimal. We say sale price, that's the variable we want to format to 2 places after the decimal. And here we give the specification 0.2f, preceded by a comma, and all that is in quotes. And the separator is a space. Separator between this value that's being printed out and this string. And thus we don't need to insert a space before the $sign. So let's go ahead and run this module and see what's happening. And we say enter the item's regular price. We say it's $66. And the sale price is 52.80 because the discount percentage is 0.20, 20%, and you multiply 66 by 20%. You can do the math, and the sale regular price minus the discount comes to 52.80. And there were 2 functions used to calculate these values. And then print out, the printout was done in main, and then all we do here is make a call to main. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next one, we will talk about random numbers, and we will also talk about storing functions in modules. Thank you.